friend.
There are a lot of legendary coaches in the LCK.
Yeah. Which legendary coach would you want to be friends with?
Bubbling.
Yeah?
He's got the best names.
Oh, well,
that's why.
More than enough reason, if we're being honest. Okay, well, apparently KT hates Freljordian champions. And they're going to start off by banning those out. On the other side, Rumble, fair enough. Azir banned away from BDD. Bit of an interesting one, want to target that. And Nidalee denied from Sylvie. So not giving them the opportunity to play that and set a fast tempo to the game.
Yeah.
I will say that Ezreal still not banned at this point, which is obviously being a pretty
You should ban
one.
it.
Probably. I think that's
ban it.
pretty good Ezreal games so far as it goes. I'm not really sure what else you'd want to ban in this situation. Maybe like Corki, but why would you ban Corki when you can ban Ez? Is my real question.
Talia?
That is not Ezreal, and it's going to be a first pick Ezreal. I can guarantee it.
I guarantee it.
Yeah. So, question is, what are Nongshim going to take on red in response to the Ezreal?
Watch them just slam Renekton.
Oh, that'd be such a Giga Chat move. And Morgan would do that, by the way, for sure.
Yeah. Perfect has done it, but no, it's Ezreal.
Yeah, when Ezreal's open, you take Ezreal. I mean, picks that are pretty good that are left open. You know, Vi is around, Renekton.
Renekton.
Yeah. This is the gambit. They're like, oh, if we don't ban Ezreal, they can have Ezreal, and then we get Renekton on red side.
Huge.
Massive. Crocodilian.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe, I mean, Renekton, yeah, maybe Corki. I think if you give over, like, Corki, Ezreal, it's such a strong combo, because they build the same first two items, and you kind of just play around that spike and murder everything. So maybe they want to deny that. But then again, maybe they want to try and save counter pick for mid. You know, if they go Corki, you go Lucian or something like that. We'll see. It could just be a jungle pick here. But no, they are locked in, dialed in for the Corki. And the question is going to be KT. I think a response to top lane could be a decent idea to take here. If you wanted something like, you know, we've seen people picking up the Gnar quite popularly. You could take the Xante. And going the Ivan. Yoshik, so given that security, Lucian. They go for the Lucian counter pick into the Corki, so pretty good for KT. Ivan, double AD carry feels nice, and Nongshim
is today the day Elise makes her return. You know, honestly, I feel like it's a good spot for her, but instead the brand is much more meta and is very good into Ivern.
Yep, we've seen it a lot. We've talked about it a lot. Ivern likes to stack up with his teammates, and you just press R, E, W, Q, and hit everyone with everything. So bans at this point. Presumably KT want an AP top laner, so maybe you're looking towards the Kennen as a ban. I mean, it's not the end of the world if you don't have one, but generally speaking, that could be something that...
you know what does AP damage?
Gnar.
Trigger Seed.
Oh, true. Yeah. But Gnar does his passive on his W does magic damage, so that's why they banned that.
Ezreal,
get
magic damage. They've got enough. I think they need more AD.
Oh, more AD, yeah. Maybe get like a Senna.
Senna top.
Yes.
They banned Callista top. I don't know why.
Yeah, they don't want to... Renekton's already picked and then banning Callista top. Yeah, totally. Yeah, I mean, let's just see if they do ban the Kennen in this situation. I think it could make sense, especially if you have like the Brand Corki backline. Instead, they go for the Leona. Leona Ezreal pretty strong, but the thing is, I'd have thought you could have just taken the Leona yourselves.
They want to play Draven Soraka, so yeah, they're not concerned.
Understandable. Oh, they did ban Senna top.
All the AD carries.
Well, I guess if you're banning Leona, chances are you're picking AD carry here, and then you want to counter pick support. So maybe you go like the Zeri or the Kai'Sa in this situation. No, you're going Caitlyn. Well, I guess they are focused on winning lane. And, you know, when Ivan puts his brushes down,
Zeri,
you can get double headshot stacks in the brushes. But Jiwoo doesn't care about that. He's playing Zeri. So, I think it makes sense. You know, got that team fight follow-up. We've seen it be pretty good in general so far. And into Ezreal is pretty fine, especially level 6 is pressure in lane. Now, KT looking at the Rel. Beryl wanted an engage pick, isn't really too much of a surprise. And now, do you just go like Kennen top lane? No, you're going Cassante. So, lacking AP damage. is something I can say about KT's composition. Nongshim, you could go Rakan, I guess. I mean, it gives you that engage potential. You do need engage, but...
Yeah. I mean...
Yeah, I think it's fine. I don't think it's too bad.
Works with the Renekton and the Zeri.
I just... You know, I sounded really disappointed there. I just hope for more if you're counter-picking, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they have counter-pick, and I'm like, oh, let's pick Rakan. It's like, well, okay, I guess.
Yeah. It's like you have counterpick for top and you pick Asante.
Well...
Like, oh... Got him.
Yeah, a little disappointed. It's like they banned Leona because I'm like, oh, well, they want to counter pick, but they're like, oh, we banned Leona, but you could have just picked Leona on 4, you know?
Yeah.
That really would have been fine. And then you would have had a Leona who...
But then you got to deal with Zeri top.
Just stop, please.
Yeah, I have faith in Perfect to play it.
Okay, anyway, so the way the drafts have panned out, I actually really like Nongshim's composition in terms of the AoE damage that they have, the team fighting potential. You know, they have a lot of shields to deal with on this side of KT, but I think KT's kind of relying on Deft popping off on Ezreal and BDD being strong on Lucian. But if either of those two fall behind, they're really going to struggle in this game, honestly. I think the matchup's good mid, though, for the Lucian, and Ezreal is broken, as we know. So I don't think I'm too concerned about them. It's just something to be aware of. And I think this is kind of Nongshim's comfort zone, where it's like, well, if the enemy fumbles a bit, we have G1 a scaling pick and pretty good team fights.
Yeah, they definitely do. I think that BDD, he's going to have Pyosik walking by, putting down brushes, giving him shields. He's already got a good matchup in a Corki on the Lucian. I would give them a lot of chance to actually make that work through the mid lane. And then they've got Deft on Ezreal. Let's see how it does go, though, as we hop on the rift for Game 1. Alrighty, here we go. Game number 1 of KT versus Nongshim. The Noodle Boys up against the roller coaster. Which direction is the roller coaster going tonight?
Well, they obviously had a bit of a dip against T1, but it was still a close series, and it's still T1, so I feel like it didn't dip too much. They're definitely not at rock bottom. You know, they're chugging along. It's kind of that point where you know you're about to turn a corner, but you don't know what's next in the roller coaster.
Yeah, it's like in a dark tunnel.
Yeah, getting a bit spooky here.
So the team they faced before T1 was B&K FearX. That was also an upset the way of B&K, and that was after KT's 5-game winning streak as well. Yeah,
they definitely went down then, but they haven't. You know, maybe it dipped a little bit, but they're just in the dark tunnel right now. And we see on this game where it's going to go. Sylvie, obviously, just going to start off clearing camps, as junglers do. That's generally what they tend to do.
Yeah, they do, most of the time, unless they're in my game, in which case they're in mid lane with Cleanse. Yeah, starting on the Wolves.
Someone hit you.
Not only once.
Oh, God.
Yeah, that's solo queue. And that's fine. I mean, Sylvie is going to be trying his hardest to win this game, which is nice. He goes for a nice clear, which is Wolves into Gromp into the blue, it looks like. As we already get a trade here on Agugar, who is in a bit of trouble. Doesn't want to flash. Nice block there from Jiwoo. But the fact that already the Ezreal lane is winning this hard,
yeah,
bit of an issue.
So Guga went Q level 1, didn't expect to be engaged on by Beryl. The Rakan counter pick not doing so well so far, but I'm sure once he's got some abilities beyond a little feather that heals him, he'll feel much better on the matchup. But I just like that we're seeing them play around the strong level 1 from Ezreal and Beryl using the Rel to really punish. Yeah, not a great start. Jiwoo missing a bit of farm, I think, as a result. Looks like they're slow pushing the wave in, so he'll be able to collect a bunch, but definitely pretty easy to deny there. And Mahal having a good time top lane against the Cassante.
Yeah.
Neither counter picks working. We call them counter picks because they get picked after, but maybe they aren't counter picks? Right.
Yeah, they're not. The Lucian, that was good. I liked that one.
Yeah.
I'm actually a pretty big fan of it right now, especially with Ivern. in this meta. As Deft really
level 1.
layering in the damage. And yeah, Guger finally hits 2. Is going to get the flash at a barrel who goes a bit early. But they've still got them underneath the turret and a bunch of brushes here as well, as it looks like they want to go for the return gank, as Beryl going to look to tank it up. Actually, it's Pyoshi who tanks it perfectly. Beryl does get the first blood, unfortunately, but you're still denying CS from Jiu. You're still happy with the dive.
And this is as a result of what happened level 1. Because Guga burnt heal, because Guga was behind in experience, all of these things compounded to mean he was significantly less useful when the dive happened. And they burn some cooldowns, and they go for the redive, and they pull it off pretty perfectly. So, yeah, the Rakan, not doing so hot.
Yeah, and Sylvie, as we know, was clearing from bot to top. Went for a full clear, including Scuttle, and so he was nowhere in the vicinity to try to help save that one off. Felt, you know, predictable, but also Sylvie's not just going to spend all of his time down here, as the first part of this didn't go too well.
Def's got some good damage down, and then it's a nice flash from Barrel to disengage and reset. More poke comes in, but at this point, Chiwu's so low, Guga has no abilities left apart from the Q, which doesn't really do anything.
Yeah. And I thought Barrel was just going to go in there and take one for the team and set it up, but actually Pyoshik on the Ivern, who has a shield, was able to tank that one up nicely and eat the damage. This top lane is... Yes, that was very nice. This top lane is still going very heavily in favor of Mihail.
Oh.
Well, I cursed him. Sorry, Mihail. You might just die now, as Perfect is on the chase, and the flash is not going to be forced, but it comes out now, as Perfect was on the chase here. Once again, sorry about that, Mihail. I underestimated my powers. But yeah, nice job by Perfect to clear out the front part of the wave and give him a chance to sneak a kill.
I think Mihail learned a lot about Cassante and tower shots there.
Uh-oh. Nice block on the stun, and Juice still has to run all the way away. This lane is already over.
Yeah, not going great. I don't really know what to add in that situation. It's just really not going well. And I don't want to sound like a broken record, but you drafted into this lane.
Yeah. Well, the culling comes out as he hits level 6. Kalix,
Oh,
ooh, that was close.
He had 84 health left. That was, you know, that was plenty, right?
He doesn't have teleport. They're diving the turret now as Beryl is going to tank up a bunch, and he will go down, but it's another kill, another massive wave. At least this area is still there, as now Sylvie trying to get revenge up in the top side. Perfect is not a flash, but it does not matter, as they're not going to chase into the Dark River.
Into the Cassante as well. You chase him into a tight area, he is just going to drag you to hell and kill you. Yeah, Jiwoo will still be able to pick up the farm, though. It's fortunately not him who went down, it was Guga. But they are really struggling bot. Jiwoo is very low. They keep zooming in with the camera to make it look like he's about to die. Does feel that way. And the plate's getting wrecked. Not a good omen, considering how... Oh,
uh-oh.
He's so dead.
Yeah. Well, he's going to line it up. That's a double stun. Def still here, pushing in the wave. Keeps them around, most importantly, as Pyoshik is here as well. Now, Kalix does roam down to the bottom side here, and Def is a bit low, so they're not going to commit to a dive. But Def's not even going to back. And Barrel's coming back, so perhaps they will actually commit to the dive. As they hit the dragon, and they're like,
the dragon's going to help with the dive.
You're not Mordekaiser from many patches ago. Remember when you can control the ghost dragon?
No, he was banned permanently, so I don't.
It was OP.
Yeah. I remember, wasn't it like he was played once at Worlds, and he just absolutely stomped the game and was never let open again? I'm pretty sure that's what happened.
Yeah. Sounds right.
One team was like, nah, I can beat him. They couldn't.
Well, Guger's going to go very deep to try to get a knock-on onto an Ezreal. It's not going to work out. The Geo is super low. And Guger and Sylvie still here, but they've got Kalix trying to help out as much as he can, but unfortunately he's just a Corki with the tier, so he doesn't really do much, especially compared to this Lucian. And so he's just going to go back to mid.
Crying mid lane. That's all he can do. Yeah, they will stop them from going for the dragon, though. KT not running a flip it that much, especially when Deft is low on mana, hasn't reset in, like, several minutes.
Yeah. He just refused to back until Jiu backed. Yeah. And G was about to back there, but he didn't.
It's like a game of chicken.
So now Deft isn't going to back.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought we were going to get a full culling then again.
He's waiting for a better angle. Okay, Deft is going to back.
What if he just cancels it? No, he wants damage. He wants a sheen. And he will get his shiny sheen. Oh, Mihail.
Q3 held up. Dominus available. Q3's going to miss.
Dodges it. Oh, no.
Wing and a miss. Strike one.
He saw barrel, I'm pretty sure, there.
Yeah.
You know, I always assume if they come on camera that they've seen them, but sometimes they don't. You know, sometimes they don't actually catch it. So,
yeah. Well, they're still here.
No,
no, no, Mihail. He's so dead. There's just no escaping. He's not even going to Dominus. He just accepts his fate.
I guess he didn't see him. Why would you walk up if you knew Beryl was there? Sylvie?
Uh-oh.
Maybe wait for Casante's ult to be over.
Speaking of not seeing them, and yeah, he's dead.
Wow.
So Sylvie is able to trade it back.
Some big damage.
Yeah. Had a lot of free time with the Casante that had no ability to run.
Mihail did see Beryl, and he saw the future play.
Yeah.
Right? He thought it through. He's like,
yeah.
if I die here, my jungler gets a kill. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go with that.
The Prophet Croc. Here comes Jiwoo. And he is going to chase down a Def. Will force a flash out. Nicely done. Bit of damage traded back, including the True Shot Barrage, but you up a flash.
It's just the power of the ult from...
Uh-oh. Well, there's the cleanse.
I don't think you needed to cleanse that. I'm going to be honest. I think you could have waited to see if he was going to do anything. Just the... I feel like sometimes like people get like 80 carries get CC'd and like, I got to cleanse it. I'm CC'd.
Otherwise, how are you going to use it? Guger almost dies as Magnet Storm barely going to miss him.
Yeah, they're like, oh, I'm CC'd. All I can do is press cleanse. Got to press it instantly. When, you know, you probably could have just not cleansed and would have been fine. And then you would still have cleanse.
But then how do they deal damage if they're stunned?
I don't think he dealt any damage there either.
That's just what goes through their brain.
Yeah.
So you did get hit by 1Q.
I just imagine they look at like all their buttons, you know, on like the bottom bar, and they're like, compress it, compress it, compress it, and then they see the cleanse, like, boom!
Yes! Cleanse value! I didn't misclick it this time.
Yeah.
Well, it's not going any better for Jiwoo. Yes, he got the flash out of Deft, but it's Ezreal. So really the next moment for Deft to be a little bit cautious is when Guger hits level 5. As now we've got an Ivern here, and Guger is not level 6, which is what I meant to say, as they're looking for the Q, and he's just gonna die to Pyoshik as enough damage comes through from the Daisy. Probably had a shield on it as well. And it's just another kill down in the bot lane.
Yeah, the Recon not doing so good. Beryl kind of having his way with this matchup, keeps CC chaining Guga, and it's been close a couple of times, but with the extra help from Pyoshik, it is just a kill. Sylvie will get some grubs in the top side. That's 6 grubs. That's a lot of grubs. A lot of grubbing.
Yes.
Thank you for your contribution.
A lot of grubbing.
Yeah. I do hope Sylvie gets Oblivion Orb, though. Not necessarily now, but assuming Pyoshik goes like the Redemption Moonstone, Brand really good with Grievous Wounds, because obviously your dot burn keeps it on everyone for a long time and you have so much AoE. Could actually, another reason why it does pretty well into the Ivern. But yeah, so this play happened several times in a row, and then it happened again here. Guga with a flash W to get out, and then it's just Daisy.
Yeah.
Giving him a little bop.
That's exactly what she did. BDD has got Ivern nearby. It's got Pyoshik. They're best friends, is what I was talking about in the draft. It just makes it very annoying. I mean, all things considered, Calix has done a decent job. He's only down 200 gold, and he is surviving in this lane. And
yeah,
he's quirky.
Also, the passive from Lucian, the one that made him really broke with Nami, like the when you shielded, you get extra damage. Yeah, works pretty well with the Ivern and Calix. Well, you need to stop complimenting people, honestly, Brendan.
Sorry. Wait, Calix is trying to fight. He's got some help from Mihail, who's coming down from top lane. And we've even got Guger in here, but the Magnet Storm's trying to help out Pyoshik, but I don't know if there's any hope for him. But it's an Ezreal kill first on top of it all. And then, of course, eventually Pyoshik does go down, but they made a lot out of a sticky situation.
Yeah, I mean, it was a good attempt on a Pyoshik. I'm not really sure what happened with Guga. like how he ended up in, but no way to get out as a Ricard. So, I am.
Hey, BDD. 7th all time. And she was going to dash away.
Oh, it's a shame Beryl didn't get the Q, because Jiwoo would have immediately cleansed.
Gotta slam that cleanse button.
Yep, gotta do it. Okay, so we obviously know this bit. Calyx, just a little beta Rooney from Mahile who's coming in. But Guga ults, dodges the Q.
We got to fight here. Beryl's in a lot of trouble as now Def, no flash just yet, has to stand up and try to fight it. He's going to get the kill. Def does it again, and he's still alive as Sylvie. Okay, he's going to put him out of his misery. The Vern getting the job done, but man, Def gets so much value, and Beryl stayed alive throughout it all.
Jiwoo had flash, didn't manage to flash. A Mystic shot there would have made all the difference. And I think they would have just got 2 kills for free. So a big hit for Nongshim, a good proactive play, a good place to make the play on the map, but the execution ends up failing them.
Yeah, definitely a bit of an issue. It felt like, okay, well, Def's super low, I can save my flash, but you gotta be careful as now here comes BDD, culling available as it's getting huge amounts of damage. Calyx has to flash to get away from BDD as this matchup just continues to get worse for the Corki.
Yeah, especially level 11 with the 2 points in culling is doing a lot of damage, so Calyx has to flash out of that one. A little bit of a rough spot. Now Jiwoo steps up to BDD. Shouldn't have as much issues with his culling not available.
브랜드 여기 있다. 빠질만해?
So yeah, Jiwoo slides over, and I think there's a point at the end, that final Mystic shot. You just have to flash it, you know? I'm not sitting here saying, oh yeah, easy, but in those clutch moments, that's the play you gotta make. And unfortunately didn't react in time, and so Def does get the kill back. And it's that 3-1 on 2 on the Ezreal. Pretty strong.
Yeah. Keep in mind that they banned Talia away from BDD instead of Ezreal. I do not know why.
You can ban Ezreal? Then why do we keep seeing him in games?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Explain that.
I don't know, actually, why we keep seeing him. I do know the first part, that you can ban Ezreal.
Well, just unlucky.
Especially against one of the best Ezreals in the game.
Nongshim are actually up in gold, but I feel like it's a bit misleading because a big part of that is Sylvie, who's farmed up a Storm. And although, obviously, I'm not saying his gold leads are relevant, but Ivan is a much lower economy jungle. And the main thing is that BDD and Deft are pretty strong, and the Ivan will just amplify them, you know?
Yep, absolutely. Here comes the Zeri ult just to try to help as nice flash away from Sylvie. And now they're just diving mid as the Magnet Storm comes in. Beryl taking a bunch of damage, but Guger and his buddy there has got to run away. And now Perfect is going to go down with that dive from the Brand in the top lane. But Nongshim did lose their mid tier 1.
Oh, he's coming.
Uh-oh.
He's got flash.
He's got flash and culling. Ooh, just a little bit too much, and he's not going to go for it.
I would have gone for that, missed it completely, burnt flash and culling, and then being sad about it.
Hit Alt F4.
Yeah, that's
never to be seen again.
That's the play. That's what BDD should have gone for. A few things missed here. Definitely not the fastest dive. You know, some dives are like, let's get in and out. This one was like, can he just die already? He did eventually, fortunately, for Nongshim. So, trade up in terms of kills, obviously, but they lost their mid tier 1. They didn't even get the top tier 1 thanks to BDD's TP, so not really a great turnout for Nongshim, but still up in gold. And it is a fed Brand right now.
Yeah, and we've seen what Brands can do, especially into Iverns, but with this Ivern that's actually also relatively accelerated, by the time we get a team fight, which, by the way, it's Infernal Soul, so we're probably going to get some team fights here eventually, he's going to have 2 items. So he'll have 2 items, Sylvie will also have 2 items, and we'll see if he can mitigate a lot of that damage from the Brand.
Yeah, I mean, seeing a setup here now from Nongshim moving over, but I don't think they can do more, especially the tier 1 up. I honestly feel like the healing reduction, if it is redemption that comes in second from Kyosha, can be really big, because otherwise you do your AoE and it just gets reset. I'm not sure if there's anyone who can really build a Serpent's Fang on Nongshim. Like, Bran could just build Serpent's Fang, and it would just apply it to everyone, but I don't think he's going to. I feel like Corky's probably the most likely.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Corky's really do it.
Probably not. There's a root there on a Cougar. He's in a bit of trouble. He goes for the quickness, but there's a massive Morello right on top of all of them. They were just trying to run away. That's now Sylvie going to throw everything in the kitchen sink into KT, but it just doesn't matter, and that's a shutdown as well for Pioshik. A massive fight here for KT.
Not sure why they stuck around under the tower, you know, Guga staying far, far too long there, and it just ends up being an easy sweep of kills from KT. Pushing them into a gold lead now. And it is the redemption coming through for Pioshik. We'll see if they get some healing reduction to combat that. But yeah, like, look at the tower's health.
It's alive.
They don't even need minions. They just have Daisy walk up. And then the root interrupts Guga's first E. He uses his second E. He's like, oh, I'll ult. Okay. Now Beryl just gets a triple ult. I really don't know. Like, credit to KT for the punish, but come on, Nongshim.
Disappointed Dad Ox is here to speak his mind.
They can do better than this. We've seen them do better than this.
Yeah, Cougar actually in the last couple of matches they've played has looked much better.
It's not been a good game for him.
I feel like, yeah, he's kind of returned to... Maybe it's a lack of confidence or something. It feels like he's kind of halfway in, halfway out all the time, and sometimes that gets him into trouble.
Yeah, I feel like with engaged supports in general, but especially Rakan, you have to be decisive. You have to be able to commit one way or another, and it feels like his indecision is costing him heavily in a lot of these situations, especially because you're so squishy and so vulnerable to CC. Yeah, not panned out too well, and now KT will pick up another tower on the bot side. Nongshim still really want this top tower. And now, maybe, they're going to not get it.
This time as well. Maybe this time will join the rest of the times where they didn't get it.
Yeah,
I'm
sure.
Well said.
At some point in this game, they maybe will kill that turret possibly.
Yeah, now I'm invested. I feel like I want to know if they're
like
going to get it.
The cull, the Zeus cull from the other day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
2 CS away.
Sometimes when a game starts feeling rough, you've got to focus on... You know, it's like when you have a big goal in front of you that seems too difficult, you break it down into smaller goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Winning this game seems quite hard, so let's break it down. Goal number 1 is get the top lane tier 1. Okay?
They're really trying their hardest.
They want it. They're trying to make it happen. KT are like, well, we don't want them to take our tower, but they're really obsessed with it, you know? Is it that big of a deal if they take it? And then like Pioshik's like, no. It'll give them a mental boost if they get it. We can't let them have the dope.
He knows. Pioshik always.
Oh no! They're giving it up! Guys, it's the... Well, actually, PDD's still there.
Yeah, no, it's fine.
They just gave up a bit of space. And that's it.
It does feel like Nongshim is posturing a lot around that Baron up on the top side. I mean, they're never doing it.
Yeah, the Baron's the objective. Yeah. They totally want Baron and not the top tier 1. Come on, Brendan, keep up.
Yeah, sorry.
Would you rather have a Baron or a top lane tier 1?
Baron's not that important, honestly.
Yeah,
so
Nongshim have the priorities right.
I feel like they should really... You see, KT now is like, we're going to deny them. We're going to push out the wave.
And now Nongshim look a little bit lost. Like, Sylvie's walking back and forth. Jiwoo's recon, like, look, if we can't top lane tier 1, what was the point?
What's the point?
Yeah.
Why are we here? I think that just trying to set up top wave.
Oh, no, I've got it. Kalec, they're faking. They're like, oh, yeah, guys.
He's actually freezing.
We don't want top lane tier 1. We're just going to freeze, and then KT will move bot side for the dragon, and he'll start fast pushing. He just fired an ult. He just fired a rocket. He's ready. He's prepping. He's like, I've got a big one. I'm going to... As soon as we see them around Dragon, I'm going to slam it and get this top lane tier 1. He's so ready for it.
Well, he had it frozen, but I feel like we don't do hard freezes here in the LCK.
It's too hard to freeze hard.
Yeah, he just clears the entire wave after it kills one of his waves. So he got a little bit of denial value, but...
He actually has a big spike. Maybe they're going to fight, not for top lane tier 1, for something else.
Wait, but Ezreal has the same spike, but it's better. And, okay, that was very close to doing a lot more damage. He's already doing a ton of damage. And they found Mihail.
Oh, no.
And he is on the run. He's level 14, and he's pretty fed on this Renekton, so it's not like he's going to go down immediately. They can't overchase for him. But both these teams will fight over the Infernal Drake.
Yeah. We see KT clumped up, BDD playing the flank to kind of try and deny this Renekton. They all come together. If Sylvie gets a big combo, you can see he's looking for it, but he's struggling to approach against this Ezreal who's doing so much poke.
Yeah. Poke not really coming in, but now the Royal Ultimate is going to catch everyone into the Cassante, into the wall, as the synergy was insane there from the side of Perfect and Barrel. As now Perfect's in a bit of trouble, but he immediately just gonna dunk onto the guy as it's Jiwoo. It's Mihail alone, desperate to try to carry this one, but it's not looking good. Def pokes out Jiwoo. Mihail goes down. Might just be a clean ace from the side of KT Rolster. As Jiwoo, he's just dead. Down he goes, nowhere to leave. It's a triple kill for Def and a clean ace.
And I think that's a clear difference between a team who has taken the top lane tier 1 and a team who hasn't. But KT played that one so clean. They're now going to look towards the Baron. Will we get the Guga Miracle Steal? I doubt it. And we see the pokes coming down, so they're trying to move in. They dash together. They clump up for Beryl, who just immediately punishes the drag on Sylvie. BDD finishes him off and then flashes over the wall. And then here... I don't even... Yeah. Cassante pretty tanky, especially when he gets shielding. And
all right, Cougar, let's see it.
No. Oh, he didn't steal it. Oh.
Oh, no.
What a surprise.
I can't believe he didn't get it.
Yes. Shocking. Well, he's just focused on the real objective. Top lane tier 1. You can see, look, he's setting up vision. He's like, guys.
He's getting there.
Look, it's objective bounties now.
It's so low.
This is the perfect time to take a top lane tier 1. I've set up vision, Mihail. It's free for you to take at any time. Anytime.
He said it before as well. He's made it very clear to his teammates that he wants that one.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a clean ace into a Baron is one of the ways to really take control of a game.
Look at the top lane vision, though, from Nongshim. It's so much control around.
It's like a concave of vision. They want to know exactly.
Oh, the ping! He's going! It's gonna happen!
You know, I think he's gonna get it.
I think this might be it. Nongshim about to make the turnaround and claim the top lane tier 1.
Will they lose their base first is
I think
something.
It's a worth trade. I think it's worth.
Okay,
there
here we go. Oh no, wait, I want to see that.
We have to see it.
Well, Beryl says, I don't care. And Sylvie's the only one who's actually fed, so I'm just going to ult Sylvie alone, and down he will go. Meanwhile, the top tier 1 did go down. But I have a feeling the Nexus is going to fall very soon. And Def's like, I don't need that redemption. I'm not going to stand in the circle. I'm too cool for that. And he's just doing ridiculous damage at this point. He's got 3 items, has a Bloodthirster. And with the Baron buff and
wait, he got another top lane tower.
He did. It's even better. But now he's going to TP into the fight as they get the root down. Everybody jumps on in their Barrel, trying to get in on the action. But Gugar's going to be pushed away. Calyx is going to be pushed away. They've got bushes. They've got Baron buff. They've got 5 members barreling down here on the Nexus. And Jiwoo just desperate to try to do anything, something. Now,
here.
They're not going to hit the Nexus for some reason. And there's the stun onto Perfect. Now Def's in a bit of trouble, but there's a second AD carry and a true shot barrage where that came from. So they're able to regroup. They've got shields, they've got Ironburn, and they're going to try to kill Sylvie again as they bully in League of Legends. Once again, Jiwoo's still alive here and actually doing a lot of damage on it, but he immediately gets popped by the 280 carries on the side of KT, and it looks like finally KT Rolster will end the game.
Yeah, I think something I said in the draft, something you said in the draft, something everyone at home said in the draft is, why is Ezreal open? And I don't think it should be again. Deft putting out a masterclass on that champion. Obviously, the game quickly fell out of Nongshim's control, but there was a big time they had an early lead. The spike came in for Deft, that team fight around Dragon, and they just never got a look in again. They did get the top lane tier 1. They even got the top lane tier 2, but even that wasn't enough to win them this game.
Yep. And a pretty clean game from the side of KT Rolster as they're able to get it done. And I feel like first step here, ban Ezreal. And, you know, they're going to be on blue side for game number 2, so at least maybe they don't have to ban Ezreal.
Leave Ezreal open.
Pick Sejuani. Yeah. We've seen it before. We have actually seen it before, unfortunately. Let's take a look at the post-game damage. Well,
whoa! Look how much damage. What champion is that? My glasses have blurred up. I can't. Oh, it's Ezreal.
Yeah, it's Ezreal.
That's Ezreal who
Looks a little bit like Lux.
How could they know that Ezreal would do 40k damage? Because he does it every game.
Yep, he does.
Oh.
And Def does it really well. He does the 40K'ing really well. Anyway, guys, we're done here for game number 1. We're going to take a break. I think a well-deserved break after that game number 1, and we'll have the space to break it down. We will be right back.
베리. 야, 다운풀이야, 다운풀.
내리 빠졌어. 라칸. 천천히. 아까 더블 해봐.
나 버려 생각해.
나 실드 2초.
빼면서 해봐.
나 큐 맞출게. 천천히 싸움만 하네. 내 싸움만 해. 나 실드 2초.
되는 사람? 나 브랜드.
나 이거 큐플 돼.
브랜드 맞아.
나 이거 큐플 되고.
못 찍었어 나 대신.
오케이, 나이스. 나
포르키. 나 죽을만해. 나 죽었어.
나 실드 2초.
얘 앞에부터.
나 실드 있고.
포르키.
야, 다이브 해도 돼.
여기까지. 포르키 발키리 돌아.
Not really okay, and you should also still ban Rumble every game. But yeah, Ezreal didn't receive anything but buffs up until this moment.
His Q
So-
has like 140% AD ratio on it now. It's so insane. I love how we finished the cast talking about Ezreal. The desk had a long discussion about the intricacies of the game, and then we come back and we're still complaining about Ezreal, but I'm just... Oh,
It'll be okay.
it'll be okay.
I think that Ju could play it, but he doesn't necessarily have to. There's a lot of respect shown to the Talia.
Yeah, I feel like these bans do make more sense on blue side when you have a bit more freedom to ban, but
Yeah.
it still feels a bit weird. They have freed up that third ban though, and it'll be the question: are you going to face pick Ezreal or are you going to ban Ezreal? That is what we're offering. Or will KT ban it themselves? KT might leave it till third ban. They're like, you know, is G going to play Ezreal? Can we leave it open?
Lucian ban expecting themselves to get a chance to pick up the Corki.
Yeah,
Actually.
that could be an angle. I mean, maybe Nongshin ban the Corki themselves, try and face pick the Ezreal. Maybe they ban like Renekton, face pick the Ezreal.
They're going to leave it up. KT are going to leave it up, and then Mihail's going to first pick Renekton.
I think for sure KT... I mean, if they leave Ezreal open, then... Okay, it's open, so Nongshim will first pick Ezreal.
Renekton!
It's got
Renekton!
No, stop, Brendan!
Nidalee!
But with making light of this, it's just going to be a first pick Ezreal, and then I guess... There we go, see?
Hey, they did it!
They're not going to let it through.
Nice.
They won't do that again. Okay, they won't let Deft have Ezreal again. And now KT... They ban the Lucian, but then they ban the Corki.
You could get Renekton Nidalee.
They could also go like Renekton Sedge if they really wanted to, but I think Renekton Nidalee also makes sense. Ash also opens.
Ooh,
we didn't
yeah.
mention. We were so focused on the Ezreal. We forgot about the other OP carry.
Yeah.
Well, this is a trade. And honestly, Sejuani on 3 would be kind of insane with that. Do you not think? So perhaps Nongshim
Should take
pick
it.
Ned. I think you might just have to pick Sejuani yourselves.
Yeah, I mean, you run into the Nidalee, right? But I don't think you can let them have Sejuani.
Sejuani Renekton and Ash just seems like is doomed. And they're looking at the Yone. Sejuani Yone coming through.
Yeah.
That's pretty good to get on top of the Ash. Some threat there. Lacking a bit of the AP though. So perhaps they want to pick that up in the top lane. Although they can just go 80 compositions. We've seen it work before. It's not the end of the world.
I feel like they want to pick for mid here. There's already a lot of mid bans, and they see the Yone. They want to have a chance to counter it in mid. Or they're just going to pick Maokai. Never mind.
Yep. They opt for the Maokai. A lot of control, a lot of peel, a lot of disengage. Does put some pressure onto BDD's pool, but presumably he has something he is happy with. So Karma going to get banned. They don't want to deal with the Karma Ezreal. This is just, you know what they're going to do? They're going to ban Karma, and then you know what they're going to ban? Rakan. And then Dongshim are going to ban Braum, because it's the most... everyone always does this. When they want to pick Braum, they're like, let's ban Karma and Rakan. And then the enemy team bans Braum, and they're like, oh no, they can just do that. We'll see if they do. We'll see if they follow through. This happened a lot of times so far in the LCK. Maybe. Oh, they banned the Kante instead. Okay. Well, still potentially set up for it. There is also the Leona Open, but I think KT would be happy to play Ashe Braum into Leona Ezreal. We'll see what Nongshim's last ban is. Because if they do ban the Braum themselves, then KT would definitely pick Leona on 4.
Really digging deep into the mid champion pool with the Jace ban.
Renata ban.
It's just Renata.
That makes sense as well. Also, they know they might be dealing with counter pick here for Beryl, and they're kind of a bit worried about that. And it looks like we're going to get a Zeri mid coming out into the Yone. So securing the enough AP damage from the Maokai that they're happy to go for that. Also makes the K'Sante make sense, the ban, because obviously Maokai does AP damage, but not a ton, so thinning out the tanks.
It feels like there's also an angle.
Oh, I just saw a Riven hover. I haven't seen that champion. I haven't seen anything towards that champion in like such a long time.
Nobody's hovered it in a long time.
I forgot it even existed.
I feel like, you know, they could also put the Zeri top and the Renekton mid into Yone. I don't think they would actually go that crazy, especially with the Gnar in the top lane.
That would be Giga Chat.
It's not like you're actually, it's not like you picked Kalista, which would have a better laning phase than the Gnar.
Do you just take...
But yeah, it's probably almost definitely Zeri mid.
Do you just take Leona and you know you're probably playing into Braum? I guess. You just do, is the answer. Yeah, that seems... Look, they're going to take the Braum.
The takeaway!
Okay. Now KT just take Rakan? I think that's why they left the Rakan open. I think you just take that here. It's a good matchup in a Braum.
Yeah, looks excellent.
Alternatively, you could take a range support, but I feel like Beryl and Rakan is...
It's going to play Hui. Seraphine!
Oh, he's looking at the range support. This actually syncs so well with the Ashe as well. You thought you could blind Braum into Beryl?
Into Beryl with counter pick?
Now he gets to play Sarah Queen?
Oh, man. I know a lot of our viewers must have played some Seraphine in Swarm and know some of her abilities now.
Actually, I think, well, LCK viewers are based, right?
Yeah.
So are Seraphine players, so I think there's a lot of overlap.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's just a really strong lane. They still have to deal with Ezreal, but Braum doesn't really do much into those two.
Yeah, your only engage as well is... I mean, I guess you have the Yone, but it's a bit slow, and then you have the Sejuani, which can be cleansable. I don't know, I feel like the blind Braum is punished again. And also, you know how the Seraphine E, if they're slowed, it roots? Wouldn't it be cool, wouldn't it be nifty if your lane partner slowed on every single auto? Wouldn't that...
That would be really cool.
Yeah.
Also on every ability.
That'd be really neato, I would say.
Neato burrito.
Neato burrito indeed.
You had a burrito today, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay. That's why I was throwing it out there.
Yeah. Gotta go Kuchara.
Yep.
Also, the Death did. Wolf did as well. He got a burrito.
He did it. Well, this is a pretty interesting comp that kind of got thrown together by Nongshim. On the other side, we've got a very strong bottom lane with the Zeri mid and Maokai Renekton. Let's see how this game number 2 is going to go as we hop into the Rift.
That was a big KT roar.
Yeah.
Oh my god, and he's gone Fierce Strike as well. So incredibly based.
That's pretty money.
He's just, you know, people make a lot of jokes about Beryl and his commitment to gacha games.
Yes.
He knows about making money. He's won Worlds 2 times so he can buy more gacha rolls. He knows what he's doing. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's having a great time.
Just listening to the song. It's not every day you get music in your League of Legends game. All right, it's over.
You know,
Wait, no, it's back.
If Beryl wins Worlds again, he really gonna want a Seraphine skin, let's be honest.
Yeah, honestly, I think he should do it. Just play one game in a spot like this, although I don't know many teams that would draft like this in Worlds.
I don't know, man. 4 teams let Broken Dragon Mordekaiser through, so...
That's true.
Yeah.
We have had some draft issues at Worlds before.
Oh,
not to name any names.
He just got hit by the Ezreal Q, and now he doesn't have First Strike anymore.
Yeah, it's okay. He'll get it back. All right.
20 gold from that.
Yeah, that's the support item. Push advantage is going the way of the Ezreal, funnily enough, as there's the root.
Braum seems to be having a not-so-hot time at the moment.
They're still going to hit level 2 first, but...
Yeah, I mean, I think part of it is also Beryl going E, and they didn't really alter the wave all too much, but playing a bit more defensive here, potentially maybe setting up Pioshik to come down bot.
6 separate players lost on Braum in a row. Braum is very good in certain spots. I still believe that.
Yep. I think the problem with Braum is that you need engage in other parts of your composition, and a lot of supports like having them being the engage, and also, you know, sometimes you can sort of pigeonhole yourself into a certain comp to have that engage elsewhere. But also moments like this, where you pick Braum and get countered, or also, you know, like people pick Braum often to Leona because it's a good matchup, but Leona's very strong right now due to all the tenacity nerfs, and I think sometimes it's like, well, it's an answer, but is it enough of an answer?
Or teams will pick it very late in the draft when they already don't have a lot of engage, just to try to win the lane, and then they, you know, they get to mid-game and they lose a team fight because nobody can press their buttons.
Like this.
Yeah.
They're really doing a good job of winning the lane right now.
Yeah, I'm not talking about this game.
Yeah.
I'm talking about other games where teams may have done that and picked it last when they already, you know, they had like Ivern in the jungle. And I mean, you know, you set up a death ball, but you don't have any engage.
Yeah, this looks really unfun. I think now is about the time Guga should just flash Q on someone, you know, get the old engage
Braum. What do you think he's gonna max here?
I mean, you're into double AD carry. Surely you need points in E.
Calyx might just die here. I think he might be saved a bit here by Sylvia. The flash in for BDD as he comes back, and Pioshik is stunned. He misses the Q, and that's not going to be enough damage to actually take down Calyx, who does have quite a lot of survivability and sustain and will not die.
That was a very odd passage of play. Good moves from Calyx to keep himself alive. Sylvie coming in with a backup, but yeah, I'm not sure from KT's end. A little bit of a weird approach to that one. There's one play gone. This is really going to be just be a money printing bot lane.
There's only 4 plates left.
In this lane.
Yeah. Let's see how many of those they can get. Sylvie, good timing there as well, by the way, to be mid right when that gank was coming in.
Maybe this is Nongshim protesting, like, look, Ezreal's not that broken. Let's show you how Ezreal can lose.
Yeah.
Not having a good time here, Jiwoo.
Feels like this Gnar is also not having a great time. I mean, even on farm, and it is Gnar. It's ranged, but we've seen Renekton do some silly things nowadays, and it feels like Perfect's in a pretty good spot at the moment. As we return to bot lane, where the wave has pretty much just stagnated right in front of the Nongshim turret over and over.
At least KT are running out of mana. Nongshim are like beaten up, bloody, bruised, but they're like, they're nearly out of mana. We made it.
Nearly.
So close.
Well, they're not gonna back on this wave, it looks like. Cannon wave.
Uh-oh, no flash BDD.
Yep, and Sejuani looking for the lockdown. It's going to be knocked off the wall. VDD is so dead. His first blood for Kalix in the mid lane on his Yone. Looking fantastic so far.
Yeah, good moves. Honestly, this Sejuani Yone working out pretty well for Nongshim. Strong mid, and then we look bot.
Oh boy.
No, let's go back mid. Sejuani Yone looking good for Nongshim. They find a kill on a BDD without the flash. He's down in farm. Oh, Yoshik's coming in bot.
Oh, Arcane Shift down. He does have Flash and Cleanse and a heal from Guger. Is it going to be enough? As nice tanking here from the side of Pyoshik as he tries to get away, and he will. The timing on the Twisted Retreat is going to save him.
It's actually called Twisted Advance.
Oh, sorry. Twisted Advance away from your enemy.
Yeah, I think Twisted Retreat was better, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really nicely played from Pyoshik. Super patient with the root. Often Maokai's lead with the root, but especially with no flash, that's super dangerous. But a good dive. Now bot lane really not going well. This is the exact same angle as before on BDD.
Dash is down. Sylvie's going to land the stun, and it's not a kill, but BDD doesn't have teleport.
Man, Kalix resisting the urge to just ult straight under tower there. A lot of restraint. Yone players don't normally have that level of restraint, so
yeah,
you know, credit to him there. Yeah, and we'll see the replay coming out. Actually, circumvents the ward, and BDD's playing towards the ward because he's like, oh, I'm fine. No one's going to be coming here. But gets jumped around, and the knock-up from Kalix is what catches him out of the ride. So really well played there. You can see Pyoshik was a little bit in the background. But here, Pyoshik gets aggro with a Q, leaves the charge, tanks the stun, the heal keeps him healthy. And then W's the minion, because if he W's Guga, he'll just get aggro again. So really well played. From both sides on their respective ganks.
Yeah, nicely done. And all things considered here, GU isn't massively far behind, but still not fun times down there. Already 2 plates, and Def picked up the kill on top of it all.
Oh, and they both have 6 now. One good thing is GU didn't burn Cleanse. In an Ashe Seraphine, if you don't have Cleanse, you're not alive. You're just going to get taken out.
Yeah, Kalix is going over the wall. He says, I can get this job done myself. I don't even need Sylvie.
And BD only has the, is it the Bandle Slingshot or Yordle Slingshot?
Oh, that's a miss.
It's not a great item spike to be sitting on, if I'm being honest.
Yordle Slingshot.
What's it called?
Thought it started with S.
Scouts? Scouts?
Yeah, Scout Slingshot.
I said, is it Yordle or Scout Slingshot? That's what I said. You were supposed to say which
yeah,
one
I
it
don't
was.
think so.
I was testing you. You failed the test. Oh, where's that ult going? Oh, I stopped BDD's recall.
Yeah.
Sad.
BDD's just having a rough time. And, you know, in a vacuum, the Zeri feels pretty good into Yone. He dashes forward, you can dash away, you can punish, you can dodge Q, knockups, he's melee your range, stuff like that. But when you've got Sejuani camping the lane,
yeah, it's not so fun. And then, oh, GU just cleansed Deft ult, by the way. We didn't get to see that. We can see both of those are burned. So they have Barrel ult and they have a Maokai. Yeah, they're not going to make anything happen here. One thing to bear in mind is that even though obviously playing Braum and a Seraphine is not ideal, you can block a lot of the big abilities. So definitely decent in a dive against that, but still very scary, especially when your AD carry has no cleanse. And the lead's being built in the bot lane. It's just interesting that both series today we've had like an enchanter support we don't often see as a counter pick. Just kind of get a free lane, a winning lane.
Why don't we see this more often? I feel like a lot of teams were just very much in the heavy melee kind of engaged support meta for a while.
I feel like it's one of the problems we have, honestly, on red side at the moment. Like, blue side is really strong, but teams just haven't been willing to utilize counter pick on red side well. I mean, a great example was Nongshim last game when they gave themselves bad matchups on red side.
Yeah.
I think...
Guger... well, he's alone, and yeah, nobody else is here. And KT slowly learning that this should be a free dive, and that it will be. Pyoshik pretty tanky at this point, and that's going to be another plate going over to them, as well as another kill onto Deft.
Deft has arrow again already.
Yep.
They could honestly just circle around and redive.
Yep.
Beryl still has ult.
There's the arrow. There's the encore. Jiu throws out the true shot barrage, and even a third ultimate from the Maokai as Beryl is nearly going to die to the turret, but it doesn't matter. One of the messiest dives I've ever seen that still worked, and they get the kill. Meanwhile, up at the top side, Perfect is just absolutely clobbered by multiple members.
Yeah, didn't even get a chance to ult there with a CC chain. Ult and Q would have actually kept them alive so much longer, but just CC chain really well. And Nongshim's top side doing pretty good, all things considered. Bot side, not so much. Bot side, not really.
Yeah. In this case, seems okay to leave the Ezreal. If you can get a lane like this.
Just mind control them to blind brawl. This one was super easy. Didn't really need anything special there to set that up. But this one, you know, Def finds a great arrow on a Jiru who ends up arcing shifting too late, still stunned. Beryl follows up with the ultimate, and they haven't actually taken aggro here. Beryl gets it again here, so the ramping up isn't there. That's why he takes so little damage. Yoshi does have to flash in here. This is really well played by Mihail. Maybe there was like a slight window where Perfect could ult a flash if you did it immediately, but it's hard to say. The layering was pretty good there from Nongshim, so good gank threat there. I think Perfect just really didn't expect that play.
Yeah, he had time, but I mean, then you're just burning flash, because he didn't see the other two, so it's like you're just burning flash against an R that already ulted you.
Yeah.
Not expecting a gank. So at the end of the day, he's not that far behind on gold. It's like 100 gold, because the kill did go over to Yone, Kalix, who does have the majority of the gold lead for Nongshim. And now we do have a lot of people coming down on the bottom side trying to utilize that Yone lead, but now we got double TP from the side of KT, and Beryl got away. Pyoshik, they're looking to get on top of Kalix here, who's in a lot of trouble. Already used his Unbound Soul. Meanwhile, Perfect just zones them all away as now an arrow's going to come in. And Beryl looking for it and finally throws it out, but that's way too late. And Mihail wasn't there at all.
Thought maybe there was an angle we'd get a big one. Might have been just up a couple of seconds away. But either way, 5 members of KT down the bot lane. And more pro coming in. They could honestly probably dive this. They're all low. The next wave. Perfect's got full Fury stacked up.
We do have a TP coming in, and so they're going to look to turn here onto the Renekton as Perfect is dead again. And now Mihail gets in, flashes on a Def, forces his flash, as the rest of the chase will stop.
What a scrappy turn of events right there between both these teams. Some good execution, some bad execution overall. Nothing really a big takeaway. They do force the TP down bot from Nongshim, but now Mihail maybe forfeit.
Not again. Well, yeah, he's alone. He's going to get rooted up. The slow comes in. There's a Maokai here as well. These three have just been sticking together this entire game, and they're going to get another bonus here, taking down the orange buff that is Gnar. Third kill on the Deft.
Yeah, so Deft gets chased down, but hard with that extra movement speed, so they split on the Beryl. Unable really to connect on him, and Sylvia has no ult to follow. Kalix ends up in trouble, but Yone notoriously slippery, especially with the tornado stacked up. And then he ends up flashing out. Ult blocked by Guga. And yeah, the ult quite late from Beryl. And then this redive, the TP comes in, and they just, I feel like they just don't like Perfect.
I mean, melee or an Renekton that's not ahead, you can burst him down. It's behind the play.
Just take him out. And now Beryl has the Dreammaker, I think that's what it's called, and the Moonstone. So he is vibing.
I call it bubbles.
I like that. Also, on the other side, Guga has the fast pants.
Well, he's still Yone, so I don't know about that one, Pyoshik. But it was cool.
Yeah, Guga just has the fast pants and nothing else. So I think Beryl definitely winning out in terms of useful items between these two.
Yes. Top lane is a little bit of a disaster now for Perfect, who has been bullied in League of Legends quite a lot. Hextech Drake now, so it's probably just going to be Chemtech Soul. No, it's Mountain. Okay.
You don't decide the souls, bro.
Sorry. I don't have that power.
Yeah.
That's not me.
Mountain pretty big, honestly, especially with the amount of bulky champions on Nongshim, the amount of shielding on KT. Those extra resists can really be valuable. So Pretty high demand dragon coming out in this one. And actually seen the Solstice Slay from Guga. This item got nerfed tons. Like, we used to see it quite a lot, and then it got nerfed again and again and again. But to be honest, Celestial Opposition here is going to get procced by Ashe.
뭐야 이거?
He did not do that on purpose, I'll tell you that. He was very surprised.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it makes sense because Celestial Opposition is just Ashe W will perma-proc it. It's not very helpful in those situations. These situations.
Yeah. Perfect, just catching waves at the moment. Not really able to match the Gnar in a 1v1. You see the big value for Nongshim is on the top side of the map, especially in the Yone, but Deft is really fed, and so is Beryl.
Yeah. You know, Gold and Seraphine pretty nice. Often we don't really talk about support gold leads. It's kind of whatever, but it does actually make a sizable difference here. Especially could go like, I mean, Mikhail's is high value here. Redemption's always high value. In terms of follow-up items, even like Ardent has decent value in this game for their team. We'll see. We'll see what else to go for. A lot of nice choices. And a lot of pick potential as well with the Ashe. So I feel like KT can honestly just play around that if they find the right targets, but you have to be cautious. I feel like Nongshim want those structured 5v5s where they get the engage. KT just want to stay at a distance, poke, harass, maybe get picks, and then if the 5v5 breaks out, counter-engage.
Well, it's going to get a flash at a Beryl here.
Miles TP'd in with Mega as well, so they were fully committing.
Yeah. I'm not even sure if that was going to hit him. It might have been like a max range one, as here comes the...
what?
The, okay.
Oh,
well, there were 5 members at KT and he got scared.
That's like worse than Lehen's, right?
He got cold feet. He was like, no, I'm a little bit scared of this one. I don't want to...
Like, it bounces you back with a big shield. Just do it.
Yeah, and you're Gnar. I mean, he was mini Gnar. And he didn't have flash. I'm trying to find an answer for you, but... yeah.
Guys, I didn't want to use Herald usefully, so I just crashed into a wall. You're welcome.
KT are very thankful. I'll say that.
They appreciate it.
I thought maybe Perfect was just going to be Dove again, but it's not quite happening. Maybe, yep, looking for the angle here. There's the stun once again. Has to use Cleanse, as now we got a Maokai barreling down, and even a flush at a Jiu just to get away from Maokai and Ashe. He's just not having a good time.
Yeah, I think if the ult hits, then Pyoshik might just flash through you, so I kind of get it. Yeah, the Cleanse value massive in this game, but it's kind of one of these situations where like Merc Treads got nerfed, Cleanse cooldown got nerfed, and Cleanse is great, but you have it once every 4 minutes. So it's one of these situations where, yes, the value is really high, but you honestly need a bit more than just a single Cleanse to get you out of these situations. And now Jiu is without it and without Flash, and Deft's arrow is coming up very fast.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the fun parts about Ashe. Even if you do play ADC Ashe and you're not like focusing on a cooldown build or anything like that, you still get it back so fast. And eventually you hit level 16 and you're just firing them off pretty much any chance you get.
Yeah, level 11 as well, pretty big for Deft. I also saw Guga's maxing Q. Full max, you know, all the way.
Full max on Braum Q when you're not even interacting with the enemy.
Q damage. That's what they need.
I mean, it doesn't even break the shield. Like, I'm really looking for an angle here. But there is
trying to look for a lot of angles today.
Yeah.
I appreciate the effort. I think Nongshim do too.
Yeah.
Dragon in 20 seconds, setting up mid.
He almost hit it there, by the way.
I think the big focus point is the fact that Jiu has no sums in this fight. And there's a lot of things where if you get hit by them, you are dead. So I'm looking out at him. I'm looking out at KT, the angles, the barrel ult, the Pyoshik ult, the Deft ult. Even just Perfect get on top of him with that empowered stun could end up resulting in his doom. BDD is pushing up top but has TP. And Nongshim trying to set up and get some vision around this. Definitely don't want to get Pyoshik in there setting up saplings, but you know, I thought it'd be like the AP Maokai with Leandri's first. He's got no AP, so sapling's not doing that much.
Well, that would make Chronicler very happy. Chronicler hates AP on Maokai after the nerfs. And Gooker's he's just trying to clear one ward. And now Sylvie's just sending it into that backline. And he is going to throw an ult in a barrel with 0 follow-up. Okay, now a true shot barrage comes out. But Braum going to get in front of a lot of different engaged abilities from the side of KT. So finally gets some value out of that pick. And KT are just going to back away, waiting for Meganar to time out, you would imagine.
Big thing is they still have BDD's ult, they still have Barrel's ult, they're still ready to fight this. And the sustain coming in, they're healthy. Nongshim starting to look pretty low in the health bar department, and Mihail's ult's timing out. I don't think they can contest this at all.
Just giving it up. Mihail just runs away, and the rest of the team decides to back off of that one. So first Mountain Drake to KT.
Yeah, I think KT did a fantastic job there of disengaging from the fight, creating space, getting some poke down. But they don't need to handshake when a fight starts and say, let's just, you know, counter-engage immediately. They can be patient, they can win the sustain war. Barrel with the Moonstone already doing so much sustain on low health targets.
Yeah, I feel like when you have Ashe and Seraphine and Maokai, you really always control the pace of the way the fights are going to break out. So KT have realized that, and they're doing it really well, as you said.
Yeah, landed some good poke from BDD as well. And Jiwoo just isn't at that spike yet. You know, we talk about the Triforce Manamune. This is the thing with being set behind from a rough laning phase is you get to that point much later, and you'll be less relevant once you do get there.
Alex is still really fed. He's definitely ahead of BDD, but we haven't really seen it pay off yet. There was the one fight before we had in the bottom river where he was really in the thick of things, and then he had to escape. And then they turned it around onto the Renekton. But other than that, he's been kind of hanging out with his lead, not able to use it yet.
If he gets a big ult angle onto the back line, that is the game winner. For,
Well, Jiwoo used his Arcane Shift, and now he might pay for it, but the heal comes out.
Yeah, Barrel doesn't want to use ult. He's like, I'm saving it for something bigger, something better.
For something Barrel. Well, Deft is going to be slowed up, but he's not going to be stunned up, and there's that Braum damage! No, most of it being Ezreal, as Deft is forced to back off, and it's not much of a wave here, but we do have some little grubbies coming out.
Yeah,
not able to get much.
Gonna do a bit of work, but not enough. Mid-tier 1 still up. You see the movement speed from Barrel, not quite enough to get Deft to safety without the flash. Still gonna be precarious, you know. Playing up against all these engaged threats from Nongshim. Jiwoo is low though. They can maybe find an angle onto him. Looks like they will just clear out some vision and play it safe. Definitely feels like both teams posturing, and I think burning sums like Deft's flash there can be super impactful when it comes to setting up fights. It's not going to be up for that Dragon in 2 minutes 40, so maybe that allows Calyx to get a good engage.
Mihail just sticking around. There's no wave. He tries to hit Mega, tries to push away perfect. He's really, you can feel that Mihail is trying his best to really push the lead that he has in the top lane. It's not a massive one, but it's more so just the fact that Perfect is very behind more than Mihail is very ahead. But he still has 2 items. Black Cleaver Triforce is definitely going to be a lot of damage, and he's just tanking turret shots.
Yeah.
Taking down that bottom tier 1.
He's pretty strong. Pretty scary. See, it's kind of typically what we see from like Ezreal's, where they just set up mid and it's just a battle, you know, between this Seraphine, Ashe, and the Ezreal to see who can get more mid prio. I do think side lanes, though, heavily favored for Nongshim with that Yone and the Gnar, obviously, you talked about a second ago. And you can see in the goal difference, it is only the bot lane for KT that's really pulled out ahead in this one.
Yeah. And Deft, I mean, we haven't had a lot of team fights that have been very obvious and straightforward with the Ashe just doing a lot of auto attacking. It's mostly just been looking for picks and posturing. So we haven't seen that power really show itself. And generally, to you know, if he's sitting around, no wave, he's still able to push up and get more poke than Deft and Barrel is able to do here.
Yeah, keep looking for angles. Oh, I didn't do that much damage. Yeah, Dragon up in a minute, and I think they're actually just starting the Baron.
Yeah.
Like, ping comes on it. Looks like they're somewhat aware. BDD's gonna check.
Yeah, I mean, It seems like they have some sort of idea this is happening, probably because of the Scuttle Crab vision.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, I like risky plays like that. Just try to see if you can make it happen. But the problem is, this is now going to mean you have to reset. Well, Sylvie's going to clear some camps and heal up, but all your controls go on the top side of the map. KT can apply some pressure mid, put some pressure on the Dragon. And that's going to be up in 30 seconds. Deft has no flash. I think that's the big thing we need to focus on this. Can Nongshim get on top of this Ashe? And especially, Mihail just hit level 16, by the way, on this Gnar. He is super strong.
Oh.
Well, actually, a late recall from KT as well.
Yeah.
Oh, and it stops the Home Gods. The double whammy.
That feels good for Jiwoo.
The value.
He struggled so much in the laning phase, not really his fault, but now he's
still Ezreal.
Yeah, he's gotten his spike. So comes late, but it still happens. So now he's really trying to make them feel it. Deft's taking poke, Barrel's taking poke. People aren't really able to sit around, and it's forcing Pyosik to come on over and try to help them push on in and get some presence here in the mid lane, as now the arrow is going to hit you. There's the cleanse already, just trying to poke him away, but look at the poke difference as Jiwoo gonna flash forward, nearly takes Barrel's head off, and now the true shot barrage is gonna get him. Barrel doesn't respect it, and here comes Nongshim looking for the bite down, as they will take down Pyosik as well. And no Drake goes to Nongshim, but they get 2 kills, so they want the Baron.
And honestly, Jiwoo is that guy, and Ezreal is that broken, just dismembering Barrel. Doesn't even get a chance to ult there. Now they're going to look towards Baron. KT trying to take Dragon in return. But Mihail's hovering. I don't think he's strong enough to 1v3 though. So it's a Baron for Dragon trade, and Nongshim going to try and get the mid-tier 1 as well. Definitely a trade up for Nongshim. But KT at least gets something and managed to slink away. Just Jiwoo diff, I guess.
Yeah. You know, we were talking about the Ezreal player tier list on the space.
It's changing on a daily basis.
It's changing on a daily basis. As Jiwoo said, he puts his hand up. He's like, remember me? I'm pretty good at this champ too. You know, I don't play it that often, but hey, here I am. I even lost my lane, by the way. Doesn't matter.
Yep. Gets hit, obviously burns the cleanse. But now he knows there's so much less risk of him being challenged here. Goes for that final Q with the Brawn pass, it would have stunned as well. And the ult here, Barrel walks back and forth a little bit and ends up against the wall when it comes through, and then they just focus down the Maokai. Yeah, so even losing lane doesn't matter to Ezreal. You know, he had Triforce Manamune. I'm not sure if he actually had anything else, and now he just has a Bloodthirster, so I assume he must have had a lot of gold or components or something.
I think he had a Vamp Scepter.
Okay, but yeah, that's a huge spike now for the Ezreal. And KT, you know, their bot went hard, their top side lost, but now their bot just can't keep up with the pace that Jiwoo is setting.
Yeah. I do wonder if this game goes long enough. You know, Nongshim are in the lead, don't get me wrong. They're in a really good spot right now where the Ezreal's really strong, the Yone's really strong. By the way, we do have kind of a mixed build here from Kalix. He did go for QSS and now is going for, it looks like, Jak'Sho's as a 4th item. But still, you know, they've got Zeri Ashe on the side of KT, and they have 2 Mountain Dragons. If they can try to delay and not fall too far behind, I feel like there is still an angle. Here we go again. Pyosik's like, wait, I'm going to actually go for the engage this time, and it's not going to work out, as he somehow forgets that the Unbound Soul is a thing twice on Yone. And Nongshim are just barreling down as, you know, those slight chances I was saying for KT are getting slimmer by the minute.
Yeah, not looking good, and Pyosik makes another mistake, just gets focused down, and he's not actually that tanky. The Locket not doing enough. Oh, I think Perfect's fine here.
Yeah, bit of a rotation over from the side of Nongshim. It is a 5v4. They got bot inhibitor, and the poke is coming in a big way. Once again, another true shot barrage is Steph, and they still have Baron buff, so that's going to be 2 inhibitors at least. It might be 3 as mid-wave is here as well.
Yeah, I don't really think they can do anything to stop them immediately. They have Barrel's ult, but they haven't found an angle with it yet. And that's 3 inhibitors down. They're against Baron, and the Nexus Tower is taking damage. KT need to do something soon.
Yeah. Well, generally, Rebel Baron power plays are not 6,000 gold to the one team that has it. But in this case, with this many structures going down, you can see that number continue to climb. In KT, they finally pull the trigger as all the ults are fired straight into the Braum shield. and not much is going to go right for them. Kalix does go pretty deep, but Perfect is already dead pretty much. He is going to get away. Pyosik falls to Mihail, the very fed Gnar, as now Nosim's going to take down them. They will play with their food, they say, and they will take game number 2 in their favor and tie up the series.
Honestly, just kind of a crazy one, you know, pick Braum, get counter-picked, lose lane, win. It's that simple. Ezreal just so strong right now. Gio having a pretty fantastic performance on it. But the top side, I feel like, for me, were really the heroes of the show in terms of getting the early game going. And Gio, once he got items, just ended up being a monster.
Yeah, I mean, he hit his 2-item spike, and KT, it felt like they didn't have a good answer for him. They're like, wait, he has cleanse? What do we do? And Gio was just like, yeah, I'm just going to take away your Seraphine, who was great in the lane, but ended up being very little value when it came to the team fights, not necessarily because Seraphine is low value in team fights, but just because of the way that the game played out and the fact that KT were not able to force fights in their favor.
And honestly, the Braum shield in fights had a lot of value, can block the Seraphine ult, can block the 80 carries damage, so you know, you really sacrificed lane quite heavily, but the end result was you had this Ezreal who just became a monster afterwards, so yeah, I guess the lesson is just ban Ezreal. I would have thought we would have learned that.
We have returned
from the first game. Apparently not. Apparently we still need to learn this lesson, guys.
We opened the KT's Schrodinger's box and, well, they said, hey, let's try against Ezreal and see what happens. Not even with Ashe could they get it done. And guys, we're going to take a break and have the space to break down game 2. We will be right back.
나 공 5초. 리퍼 깨지고 천천히 나가자.
천천히 가자. 야, 마오.
마우 볼게. 아, 이거 앞라인부터 보자, 앞라인.
야, 왼쪽.
빨리 가.
자. 왼쪽 뿌리야.
나 살긴 해, 나 살아.
타워 킬래?
천천히. 봐.
으아, 다 죽여! 야, 3분 잘해보자.
잘해봅시다. 현미 캐리 좋았고.
캐리어.
Yeah.
If that does squeak through.
Okay, so Cedric, this is what KT banned on their first game. This is what Nongshim banned in their first game. So we'll probably continue in that direction. We'll probably just repeat similar bans, and then I feel like it's probably third ban that will change because Nongshim, they're actually banning Talia now. Last time they banned Azir.
Yeah, are they going to leave Azir then?
Yone banned, which is an answer to Azir. So they will ban Ezreal, and they'll just have to take the fact that Azir is going to be picked into them. They'll just have to accept it. We're playing into Azir, guys, and a lot of the answers to Azir are banned away, so I guess maybe Kalix can play Lucian in the situation.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Anything's better than playing into Ezreal, I swear. Trust me.
Stop. It's going to get banned. It's fine. There's literally... I swear to God. I swear to God.
Oh, no. Now, can KT one-up them by not picking Ezreal?
It's just, Adept is like... They're like talking about what they want to play. They're like, guys, we could play Azir. And then like, Adept's like, wait. They didn't ban Ezreal. And he locks it in! Well, that's a game-winning play. Congratulations, KT. Fantastic move. Textbook execution. They'll put that in highlight 1, I think.
Yeah, and highlight 2, and maybe even in the POG highlights.
Yeah. Well, let's see what they can get to counteract it. Obviously, the Azir's open. Are they going to deny that away? It looks like it.
I feel like if you're not banning Ezreal, you should know 1,000% that they're picking Ezreal, and you need to have your picks ready to go. You should know 100% what you're playing.
Yeah, they're like, okay.
There shouldn't be any waiting time.
It should be like slam instant. Azir and Ekton, we got it, right? It's not like they're going to be caught off guard that KT face-picked Ezreal. It's certainly not a surprise in this situation. But hey, at least they don't have to play an Ivan, right? To KT just go... I mean, you could go like the Corki Ezreal, the combo, who both spike on the same items.
Oh, but Ox, Ivern is banned. So I guess they can't.
Oh, they got Leona! Leona Ezreal, notoriously underwhelming bot lane in the LCK.
Yeah. Also,
Okay.
they get their top lane pick of the litter. I mean, only Rumble is banned. So.
The question is, do Nongshim pick like a support? They're just going to go Maokai. So Braum's going to get banned. So they won't even get that. Well, bans here. I guess you can target. Maybe if you want to deal with those mids, thin out the pool. The BDD players, you want to get rid of like Corki Lucian, you could in this situation. You picked away the Maokai already. Maybe you're worried about Pioshik playing some AP jungles. You can ban those. We'll see. We'll see.
Maybe Ju will play Kai'Sa in this game.
Yeah?
If it doesn't get banned. I feel like this is a pretty good Kai'Sa spot. You know, a lot of engage. You don't have a ton of AP. Actually, they have Azir. What am I talking about? I mean, it still works, but not the AP part.
Yeah, they have
Maybe
got a lot of
go for
AP
something
in that
else.
composition. I think that makes Kai'Sa difficult.
Yeah, maybe not the Kai'Sa, actually.
It goes Zeri, I guess. They banned the Lucian. Do they go with the Corki as well? I mean, Pioshik, I feel like, hasn't been playing as much of the AP junglers maybe as the others. But they're going to ban the Zyra away. Don't want to deal with that. The Corki's still open, but I think a lot of teams are taking Azir into... Okay, they banned the Rakan here. Interesting. I feel like Ezreal Leona just kind of annihilates Rakan.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like Nongshim could take the Braum if they wanted it, but they're actually looking at the Caitlyn. Maybe they go Kate Braum. We'll see. We'll see what they opt to go for to pair that up. Now for KT, will they lean on that Corki we've been talking about? I think Azir is okay in the Corki, all things considered, but that mid-game spike is just so strong. But it kind of depends what Pioshik wants to play in this situation. And they actually go BDD Orianna, so leaning on the mages. Orianna Lee Sin, interesting. Definitely not the picks I would have expected to come out here.
Yeah.
A lot of follow-up for Beryl, at least, with that Shockwave. But yeah, you know, I mean, they got first 3, like, really solid picks. And it is definitely going to be Braum.
Hey, why you don't give them credit to play Caitlyn Lux? T1 beat them with it.
Anyway.
Surely... Yeah,
so they got the Braum pick. They still have some engage from the Maokai, but this game is kind of about keeping... The problem is, conceptually, look at the composition. It's like, okay, keeping them at bay. We have the ultra engaged with Maokai, but like play around the traps, play around the Braum passive, where they have a lot of people who stack it. But you're into this Ezreal, who in the mid game is just going to be firing off Mystic shots like a cannon, and you have to deal with that. So, I don't know.
There's not a lot of recourse because a lot of the disengage from the side of Nongshim is very committal, or the engage. So it just feels like they even drafted into giving Ezreal more power.
Yeah,
I don't know how this is possible.
This is a pretty good game for Ezreal, and Ezreal's a pretty good champion. So
and he has an amazing lane to go along with it.
Yeah, and he's going to take cleanse, so he's not going to be threatened too much by this CC.
Yeah.
I mean, we've seen Deft have rough games before in the Ezreal. This split, he's also had some fantastic games. I think Nongshim has to hope he has a rough game and they can get on top of him. We'll see how it ends up panning out. But I'm interested about this mid jungle from KT. Definitely not something we've seen very much of at all. Ona has been, Lucy's been playing a fair bit off the Lee Sin to great success. So we'll see how they can handle that in this matchup. I think Nongshim's comp, Yeah, it's in Ezreal, so good luck.
Good luck. As we are ready, let's hop onto the Rift.
소환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다.
Alrighty, game number 3 coming in here. I didn't expect a game 3, but now Beryl is running into a Braum, but with BDD around and Deft coming on over.
Yeah, nothing really came from it, but I feel like one thing, you know, we talked about how the Braum was on this big losing streak. Well, until last game, you know, that losing streak's now broken. Was on a 6-loss streak until last game.
Nice.
But I feel like what teams don't do with the Braum, one of his biggest strengths is the level 1 invade. You know, you land that Winter's Bite on someone, there's not much they can do.
They're going to get the stun and the Q on a Jiwoo. Here's BDD, who is a Orianna. Jiwoo is going to have to flash, but he dies anyway! And BDD picks up the kill.
Well,
as if it weren't bad enough.
You saw what happens when an Ezreal loses lane, he still carries. How about when an Ezreal wins lane? And also, you've just given First Blood to BDD on this Orianna, so things are really bad. Jiwoo knows summoners as well. Easy time for Beryl, who has Hex Flash. You can definitely abuse that. Not the best start.
Yeah. We have seen Orianna once. I believe it was BDD that did play it. And
Some win rate.
Huh?
100%.
Oh, yeah.
1 out of 1.
100%, and he certainly knows how to pick this one up. It was either him or Faker. It was definitely, you know, those are kind of the two guys that are classic Orianna players and have played it throughout all the metas. Orianna was just kind of perma-pick in many times. But, yeah, now he's got a kill, and the Orianna still does a lot of damage, especially if you get ahead and you can build a quick couple of items. She just becomes really oppressive, and she kind of can do a similar thing to Ezreal. Not quite as well as him, don't get me wrong, but you know, you throw forward a QW, you can chunk someone if they don't have MR after you get a couple of items.
As well, like Azir does good in a lot of matchups because you can utilize the soldiers, you know, dodge away from their skill shots, get some Willows down. But Orianna can just charge at you QW and auto and kind of win trades here.
Yeah.
They step so far in a Barrel, they're confident because they have the Braum, but BDD waited. The first stun comes in. Def's getting as much damage as possible out, and then Jiwoo ends up cleansing the Ignite damage late, and it's a short stun because of the tenacity. But you either have to, I think you just save the cleanse for the stun, or just cleanse Ignite early.
대보성이다, 대보성.
He says, God BDD. And yeah, Jiwoo had some trouble with that in game 2 as well on the Ezreal, just kind of arcane shifting late, flashing late, not respecting, and I feel like there was a way for him to recognize, okay, Orianna's here, I'm just going to flash and not deal with any of this.
It's one of these things, it's the bane of players everywhere. Yeah, a little disengage going.
Really glad that there's a cone there to save Sylvie.
So many players will try and hold the sums, and it happens at every level from Iron all the way up to in the LCK right now, where they're trying to hold the sums because they're hoping they can get out without burning them, and then they die after burning the sums anyway.
Yeah.
And you obviously falling trapped to that. So unfortunate also an invade off Sylvie's jungle by Yoshik as a result of this pressure bot. So everything's just kind of going wrong for Nongshim, and they're playing into Ezreal.
Yeah, it's very true, and what you mentioned about Orianna in the lane is still very true. This is one of the reasons why we used to see this matchup as well, kind of after the Corki Azir years, where Orianna came in again after she got some buffs, I think. I'm not sure if it was last year or the year before, but either way, Orianna's been in and out of the meta forever since she was created way back in, I think it was season 2.
I also think, you know,
maybe
we
season 1.
Oh!
Yeah, they're just going in. The door has fallen, but Jiwoo still trying to get ahead, but he is nearly dead as one more auto would do it. And guess who's here? It's Lee Sin, one of the best divers. Just going to kill Cougar first because he says, you know...
What you going to do?
He's emoting him. Yeah, he's just dead. And the Ezreal's going to get the kill this time. So Ezreal's got a kill. Orianna's got a kill. Pioshik's got a kill.
And look at the right of your screen. Look how close the cleanse is to coming up. They find a great winner to punish while it's down. Beryl focuses the damage, focuses CC onto Jiwoo, and the cleanup is just so good from KT there. Def playing it almost perfectly as well. You know, he's had a couple of Ezreal games which aren't all that. This one really has been getting the damage down. And then he biscuits for some mana. He actually Mystic shots the W for the mana refund there.
Yeah.
So he ends up having enough mana to Arcane Shift at the end once he gets the kill on a Jiwoo, but just really well played from Beryl.
Throws up the, I think it's the Shocked Seraphine.
어시가 없네.
Wait, I got no assists for the last kill.
Unlucky.
Yeah. So, you know, the Renekton Prio comes in, Miles getting value, he's pushing the Cassante in. But teams are willing to take this handshake over and over again, especially for top laners that don't necessarily want to play okay, well. Now Calyx is going to get ulted by BDD, just a little bit of extra damage. But,
You know, he's a young player, let's just pretend we didn't see it. Yeah, Calyx got chunked out.
We'll give him another chance.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, it happens. You know, I'm gonna say it, like, not even coping at all. When the game is going like this, you're gonna make some plays that are a bit harder to pull off, you know. You're gonna try and get back into the game. Doesn't find the angle, just BDD walks it out. Unfortunately can't connect. And they're at a 2k goal deficit at 6 minutes. Not a good spot to be in at all. So we will start, I think we'll see more desperate plays for the end of this game from Nongshim.
And, you know, BDD with that early kill on the farm lead he has, he already picked up Lost Chapter and has boots, so he's going up against only Merc Treads from the side of Calyx. And now, he's just able to chunk him out, even with that extra MR from the Merc Treads. It doesn't matter, and he doesn't get to trade back at all. So it's just BDD supremacy in mid. He's able to just walk into the Maokai jungle with the Prio, with the Lee Sin, who's also ahead. And, you know, I know we made a lot of fuss about the Ezreal. It's still a problem. I feel like, you know, this could be any 80 carry, and this would still happen. But the issue is compounded because it's Ezreal.
I also feel like the level 1 and the dive really were amplified by the Ezreal. But yeah, no, you're completely right. This is definitely not being a clean game from Nongshim, and they have to deal with an Ezreal. You getting poked down so hard.
It's just not missing. I mean, at least Sylvia's here this time and is level 6, but you're still in so much pain. I mean, it's a 28 CS lead, and he's struggling to kill minions under turret.
You know what? Some people might have watched and thought, you know, maybe these guys are overreacting a bit about the Ezreal.
There was definitely at least one person.
I honestly think we were underreacting.
We were trying to keep it professional, you know?
Yeah, we were trying to be... I feel like there's going to be some viewers who are literally pulling their hairs out over the Ezreal. And they're like, yeah, it's justified. Well, at least you has all the components you always want. You know, we've seen Caitlyn build Infinity Edge first, and when you build an Infinity Edge, you love coming back to lane with Pickaxe, Cloak of Utility, and no BM Sword. That's what every 80 carry player is looking at this inventory and just wincing right now.
Yeah.
Yeesh.
BF Sword nowhere in sight. And, you know.
He has to take out a loan. Actually, no, he has to take out a mortgage to get a BF Sword. You know, we saw earlier that Jiwoo, very high damage per gold, but I think lowest gold for 80 carries.
Yeah.
He's struggling right now. He's struggling to afford his items.
He is. And it looks like he's been kind of left in the lane alone for now as the supports are off, either backing or roaming. We did have the 3 Grubs and the Drake go the way of KT as well, and it's not Ocean or Chemtech.
Oh my god, this is like the worst possible scenario for Nongshim, honestly.
Yeah.
I don't think it can get worse.
This is one of those games where it just feels like everything is going one team's way. The only game where I feel like it was more one-sided was Genji versus Bro.
Yeah, Genji Bro was pretty bad.
Game 1. That was the only game.
that felt like, well, it is Genji versus Bro.
Yeah.
It's not like every, you know, I feel like this one, even the Dragon RNG is against them.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Well, you've always got Guardian to help you out.
Oh, look at that. The shield to block the Mystic shot and not the ult. Well, it is what it is.
Yeah. The Ezreal, once it gets ahead as well, very obnoxious. One of those champs that...
yeah, I feel like when Ezreal's ahead, he does a ton of damage and he's very obnoxious. when Ezreal's even, he gets big item power spikes and becomes very obnoxious. And we saw last game, when Ezreal's behind, he still manages to do a lot of damage, and he's hard to pin down. So
and he's obnoxious.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, it just takes him a little bit longer to get online, but he still hits that spike really hard. That's just the way
of obnoxiousness.
It's just the way it goes with the buffs that he got.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's part of the reason why Rumble is perma banned, and Ezreal should be as well. But we'll definitely all keep that in mind for the next time.
I brought this discussion up, like, because, you know, obviously everyone talks about new champs being broken, like Cassante.
Uh-oh. Oh. Cleanse coming in. Deft has to flash away, but Engage Brawl comes in, and they're going to kill him. As now we're getting another Maokai in some trouble, as Beryl is looking to punish Sylvie. We'll force out the flash from said Sylvie.
Guys, looks like Ezreal is just a bad champion. Yeah, Deft kind of doing everything wrong there. Good gang setup from Nongshim, good punish. They managed to take him out, they managed to bin both his sums, and they get the kill. And actually a bit of plating in return. We all doom and gloom, but the bounce back is here. Is there hope? I ask. Oh, then he blocks the ultimate. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe lose lane on Braum is just the winning strategy.
It worked in game 2, you know.
Okay, Deft does now have a Triforce. Oh, Jiwoo might have a BF sword now. It's redeemable. Let's take a look.
All right. Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Now the inventory looks fine. Well, not as good as Deft's inventory.
Ooh, Calyx with the forward step. Confident. Missed W here.
KT are just falling apart.
Yeah.
But they're still...
Well, it is 5 plates in the bottom lane that are about to go to Deft and Beryl.
It is 6 Void Grubs.
And the first Turret Blood also going to go into their hands.
Yeah. But the kill
and
was nice.
Cassante has 2 plates.
Yeah, Deft ends up cleansing the slow, but stays up too far. The heal to gap close doesn't get enough distance to the Arcane Shift and the flash, so... Little bit of an overstep there, I think it's safe to say. Sylvie has to flash out from the CC from Beryl.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Cleanse comes through this time, but we've got a BDD behind him. And the TP's going to come in from the Azir. Beryl a little bit low, but it's only him, and the Shockwave hits them both. And Calyx is here, but he's just going to die. He's just dead. He's not even going to do anything, and Jiwoo also is going to fall. And
oh, Mihail's here?
Now Mihail TPs. And he's going in. Well, there was no other direction to go, I guess. Big Q, he's still dead. Will he get the kill? Yes, he will. Okay, he gets the shutdown on a BDD, so I guess hashtag worth. But yeah, KT, a huge fight in their favor just to get everybody a little bit more fed.
Yeah, I feel like Jiwoo and Guga just kind of forgot that the turret was dead. And then they were like, oh, why is Leona running at us on like 20% HP? And then they saw the Orianna. The Shock Seraphine coming out. That's kind of how I feel this game.
Yeah.
Yeah, Beryl takes a ton of damage, gets a cleanse, and then the TP's coming in, they're like, oh, we're in trouble. And they're like, let's call the TPs, but Mihail has to run away before he can TP. So Calyx comes in really late, tries to make things happen, doesn't really succeed. BDD just kills a no-mana Jiwoo. And now is when Mihail turned up, but he's like, in for a penny, in for a pound. And yeah, does a decent job, all things considered. 1v4, back the kill. You know, I think his contribution to the play was the best contribution to the play.
Yeah.
But that's not saying much.
He was just very rushed. I'm sure the comms were all over the place in that moment. So,
yeah.
I don't really blame him. He was trying to run away from a Cassante,
and honestly,
he just rushed it.
He does burn his flash, but like he got a shutdown in return for his kill.
Yeah.
He at least got something out of it. But they are at a 5,000 gold deficit. They are down 6 grubs. They've already lost their first tower. They're about to lose their second dragon, and it's a guaranteed good soul. Did I miss anything?
Ezreal?
Yeah, Ezreal, 2.3k gold lead.
Yeah, I think you didn't mention him. Ooh, nice little catch here from Beryl. Calyx has to flash away, and still he might go down. This is Ezreal we're talking about. If that Q hits, you get an Arcane Shift back. You never know.
Yeah.
He doesn't even hit a spike
yet.
Oh,
it's Infernal Soul. Notoriously bad with Ezreal. Yeah. The Mystic Shots, I don't think they do enough damage. So I think Infernal Soul...
Just a little bit of extra scaling for your
Yeah,
3 carries.
I for one think that Ezreal Mystic Shot should feel like the blast wave of a nuclear bomb. So
Yeah.
I think Infernal Soul was needed for KT in this game.
Yeah.
So yeah, feeling good about this one, Nongshim. Also, I think one of the other problems as well with this Caitlyn pick is if you lose lane on Caitlyn, it doesn't feel good. But also this IE rush build feels so bad until you have like 3 items. Like the 1 item spikes, a bit rough. 2 item spikes, yeah. But into Ezreal, who is like notorious for like insane 2 item spikes.
Yeah. You're just very much behind the tempo of like item.
And even if you even, it's gonna feel bad.
Yeah.
When he hits 2 items.
And the reason why you're generally building items is to get stronger as soon as possible, generally. But this build doesn't really do that well, so.
Yeah.
Well, they're going to try to go for the Rift Heralds. This is on Vision. I don't think that Notion can do much about this. They've already lost all of their outer turrets, so yeah, they don't really have much control over the map. And they're just going to have to let this one go, although Sylvie is hanging around.
Well, at least they got those 2 kills, because they haven't gotten anything else.
Yes. Well, okay, Calyx going to get away this time. A little bit close there against Beryl. Sylvie, okay, they're going to press their buttons. They say, okay, this might be your best chance, but then they just, wait, no, Sylvie's gone back in. Calyx is like, okay, I guess we are going for this, but now TP's coming in, and the shockwave hits the front line, and it doesn't quite matter because Sylvie and Guger are relatively squishy compared to the very fed Orianna, as that's going to be a couple of kills in the plates of KT as they're looking for a bit more of the chase potential. Pretty huge. Nice kick from Pyoshik. And Silly, very nice escape from Calyx as somehow he makes his way out of there.
Yep, it looked like Nongshim were trying to find an angle to come in, but more members of KT were ready to be there. Well, not even necessarily more members, stronger members, I think is the key thing. And they kind of just send them crushing it. Calyx has to be a little bit careful. They could just one-shot you. They'll take the inhibitor tower at 17 minutes.
Go mid.
Where are you going with this one? Perfect.
Mid's here too.
Okay.
What?
Oh.
Yeah, I'll give that a B-.
I think that's a fail. That's a fail. Don't think you're passing your driving test with that one. He's still a young player though, you know. He has time. But sometimes the older players, like Lehens, do struggle as well with driving. They have to get retested every so often. Yeah, big shockwave comes in. They just don't have the damage. Like, no one was actually hitting the targets apart from Maokai Braum. And then BDD flashes in for that kill. Jiwa's nowhere to go. Ezreal is Ezrealing.
He only got there just now.
And he just comes in and starts. You know, Guga has to flash the Mystic Shot and then dies anyway.
Pyoshik took that kill away from Deft.
How dare he?
Pyoshik deserves it.
He didn't get the assist earlier, remember? Total damage dealt. Well, the Braum's doing 3,000 damage. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Q-Max,
Keeping up with the rest of the team. That must be Braum's doing a good job. Yeah. And we talked about this earlier on, you know, only Ezreal is rough enough. It's already obnoxious enough. But when you have Orianna as well, you just do not get to stand anywhere. When you're this, even when you're not even this far behind, but when the enemy team is ahead and they have both those champions, the amount of poke that they have is just ridiculous.
I love when I dodge a Mystic Shot that's going to do a third of my health and walk into an Orianna ball and die.
Right after you said that, I'm like, it's not a third of his health. And then it's like actually a third of his health.
Look at his inventory. He hasn't even fully stacked his mana immune.
Yeah.
He's not even at the spike yet. He's not spiking right now.
He
that's
didn't
just
spike,
casual.
no. This is an Ezreal that's still lying dormant.
Yeah. He's not even trying.
Oh, no.
Yeah, this game is playable.
You shouldn't have tried to back in your base. I think that was a mistake.
I just want to say, anyone, you know, I can't see the Twitch chat, but anyone who is saying, oh my god, can they stop talking about Ezreal? They're exaggerating so much. No, we're not. No, we are not, right? It's ridiculous. And we've just seen that on display, so no, I disagree.
Especially in this region where all of our AD carries are incredibly gifted and talented, and they can really make the most out of Ezreal's kit. This is not the region to allow it to be played.
Because there is one thing with Ezreal, his Mystic Shots, they actually do significantly less damage if they don't land.
Yeah.
I don't know if anyone's aware of that, but it does make a big difference.
Deft almost bought his BT before he completed his mana.
Well,
What is happening there?
I think he's a bit fed.
He didn't stack it very well, I guess.
Remember mana stack now.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, KT are very far ahead in this game. They're going to get the Infernal Soul points.
Maybe it's one of these things where when you're behind, you're like stacking your tier as much as you can. You're like, I need this. I'm so weak. And when he's ahead, he's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
Just hanging.
I'm struggling.
Well, Nongshim, they're trying to hit the Cassante, but as we said before, the Caitlyn doesn't really do damage yet. So actually what happens here is that they're caught up against the top wall, and they have nowhere to run to. Here comes Renekton, as they do double down to try to take this fight. I do have an inkling that it's not going to go very well for them. Oh boy, here comes Cassante. He's just gonna flash on Jiwoo. And the Maokai ultimate is pretty good for the disengage, but it just doesn't matter. The wallets are huge. That is a huge divide, though, from the side of Alex. Nicely down. They take down Def, and BDD is gonna be isolated as well. But again, the wallets are just way too heavy here. BDD getting sliced on, getting diced on, and then he gets disengaged. And there it is. Double kill comes through for Pyoshik. It doesn't matter how the fight is going. It's still a huge win for KT.
Oh, no. He's found him.
Oh, boy. Yep. So Portal Combat. Oh,
Flash from Beryl. Flash for him.
Yes. He did it.
Look at all those cinders.
I didn't want the disengagement.
I know who my POG vote is.
Well.
Yeah, Def does a little bit of an oopsie here, where he arcane shifts in for damage. You'll see it right about now, and that sets up Calyx for a pretty big ult, honestly. And if the gold was closer, this could be a winnable fight, but unfortunately, Perfect's just melting everyone. Beryl and Yoshik are running around, killing people. As you said, wallet diff. I think Nongshim did what they could, but they ain't winning that.
Yeah. Too much happened earlier on that led to this becoming a 11,500 gold lead here for the side of KT.
That's quite a lot.
It's a lot of numbers.
Well,
5 figures.
Hey, it could be worse. They could have Infernal Soul. They don't have that yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Yeah, I'm sure Nongshim will figure out how to fight them.
Has anyone got any culls to finish?
In the next 3 minutes. Jiwoo just has like a bag of culls he's been stacking.
Yeah.
You know, he's been hiding them. Oh, he's gonna have IE LDR.
Yeah.
That's not the 2-item spike. You're super
Headshots are gonna be slapping.
Yeah. Well,
once every 30 seconds.
He's like, I'm doing no damage to Cassante or Leona. I need these items. It's like, brother, you're doing no damage to anyone.
Yeah. Well, what can you say? He doesn't have a lot of gold, so he's just trying to.
Yeah, I'm not.
He's trying to build some items.
I'm not criticizing Jiwoo for building it or the build or anything. I'm just saying it's.
Yeah.
It's once he finishes that, it's not suddenly gonna fix the game, you know.
Yeah. Siege coming in with the Baron buff. BDD, again, it's just, you don't get to stand anywhere near them, and that wasn't even a good shockwave, as Beryl is going to eat a lot of that damage, but so will Jiwoo on the poke, as Deft, he doesn't even care about the rest of the team, he just looks for that back line. And Mihail's just going to Dominus here to try to save the mid turret desperately. Nongshim, they tasted victory in game 2, and now they're desperate for more, but it's not much going right for them in this one.
Yeah, and KG, they have Dragon in a minute 30. If they feel like they need to, they can back off and take it, but they know they have so much strength with this Baron, they have so much pressure. So why stop? Why stop just bullying Nongshim? And if you don't finish the game in this next minute, that's when you can take the soul, and the game is in your hands. We're going to TP, fully commit.
All right.
How's it a flank?
The flank, and yes, Perfect did TP onto a trap, but doesn't quite matter.
Oh, he did get autoed. Right.
Yeah.
It for sure did damage.
Yeah. A little bit.
A little bit. Oh, it looks like
scratch.
KG are at the point where they're like, okay, maybe we back off, we buy, we go Infernal Soul, it seems. Or maybe just Deft and BDD are fighting over blue buff. I don't know. It goes to everyone, so I'm not sure why it matters. It feels like he's just hitting Jiwoo just like to make a point.
Yeah.
Like, it's not really achieving that much, but he's just doing it because he can. He has got a foot now.
Do you think that Deft felt a little bit disrespected after they left Ezreal up again?
Yes. I feel like
I feel like I would.
I think Jiwoo felt disrespected that they left Ezreal up, and now Def feels... I think every AD carry in the entire league, if Ezreal's left open for you to first pick on blue side, the enemy team is disrespecting you, right? And if it's not Gen G, that's kind of BM. And you should 1v9 the game as a response. Then again, if it's Gen G, it's like, well, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah.
I'm not even sure Ezreal is enough to take down Gen G right now.
No, I don't think so. Although I don't think we're ever going to find out because, you know, they won't leave it open.
Yeah, maybe that's why they're winning. Maybe that's why Gen G win. They don't mess about when it comes to these things. I mean, to be fair, they sometimes do, but they are just very good. Enough about Gen G. They now have Infernal Soul. Now is when we get to the scientific portion of the game. And we want to see how much damage...
Ox's favorite part.
How much damage does an Ezreal Q do to Jiwoo? How much damage does an ult do? How much damage does a WQ do?
All right.
Oh my god, that's a big damage.
He's like, I'm in the game, I swear.
I love science.
Yeah, well, he's got Mortal Reminder. That'll help. Yeah,
Just
KT...
need to remind Def that he's mortal. That is important.
Yeah, I think that's very applicable in this situation where he doesn't feel very mortal. And yeah, KT with this push with the Infernal Soul. I was going to say Baron because it felt like they had Baron, but they don't actually have Baron. So yeah, they're just pushing in as a team with Infernal Soul and just looking to poke them down.
Def really wants to E in and just Mystic Shot Jiwoo. You can see it.
Yeah.
He's hunting for it.
Oh, this is your chance. Look at that shield. Oh, they're just going to go for Calyx. Oh, nice setup here from the side of Beryl, but the Q3 misses from the Cassante. And now Beryl's kind of in an awkward spot. He is quite tanky, but yeah, he just survives forever. Here comes the flank, though, as Mihail thinking about this angle. Perfect pretty low himself, but Nongshim not going to commit to it. And oh, man, the Shockwave just going to take Uger's head off. Perfect, pretty tanky. He's just going to back away. Deft is going to take a bit of damage, but not able to take down the Nexus turret just yet.
Yeah, he's got a Bloodthirst, so he can sustain up. Nongshim trying to hold on, but it's against very improbable odds.
BDD getting close to dying. And oh, bit of damage comes in from the Super Minion, and we got more where that came from, as there's the E forward. Looking for it. Trying to just stick that damage. Everybody else is backing. Perfect, looking to TP back into this one. As now Deft has an angle to just auto onto the turrets. Takes multiple turret shots and doesn't even care.
Oh, it's you again.
Yeah, Jiwoo is, he's got a Cassante on him. There's the knockup. Does go for the cleanse and is just massive chaos in the base right now. And Mihail goes in. He's going to go down. It's desperation from Nongshim, but they will be cleaned up. As Steph says, don't you dare let me play this champion ever again. And KT as a team absolutely clobber them in game number 3.
Yeah, and I don't think it should have taken us 3 games, but sometimes you need to reiterate a point, you need to make it clear, you need to really ensure that everyone understands that we need to ban Ezreal. But KT, very strong performance in game 3. Obviously got the hiccup in game 2, but at the end of the day, they got the series win they needed to push themselves up in playoffs. And Nongshim, a pretty rough one for them. I think after that game 2, they definitely felt like maybe they could have taken the series, but too many things went wrong in the early game of this game and in the draft.
Yeah, it definitely did. I feel like Nongshim is a team that comes in with a specific plan, but I do also feel like part of the reason why they do struggle is because their draft reads aren't fantastic, and it's definitely, it's a legitimate point. I think the fact that KT, we said it so many times, but the fact that KT got so many power picks, including the Ezreal, over and over again, is something to look at for the future for Nongshim. On the side of KT, you know, Deft once again proves he can play this champion. We see Orianna coming out with Elise, and that was a pretty cool duo. We saw in mid-jungle. Maybe we'll see a little bit more of it, especially when there are so many mid-bans coming in. And when BDD doesn't want to play Tristana, which is a lot of the time nowadays.
Yeah, I think ultimately, you know, KT, definitely not a flawless, perfect gameplay team where we see them don't make mistakes, but bouncing back after that loss to T1, and that was a competitive series, and they just need to keep this momentum. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter how clean the series is, how clean the series win is, as long as you get them under the belts, you're climbing up the standings, and currently with them now being 6 and 6, Quantum Freaks are 5 and 7, you're getting closer and closer to securing a playoff spot. At the end of the day, you know, regular season, it's whatever. We've seen teams have bad regular seasons and bounce back for playoffs. T1 have done that before. Great example. You can solve issues in your own time, but this was really where it started going wrong. I think Beryl having a pretty excellent setup in this game to get some advantages over Jiwoo. Obviously, BD getting that kill was a massive advantage in here. Deft making some mistakes. Wasn't a flawless game from him. Ezreal is mortal, but still does a ton of damage.
He was reminded by the mortal reminder.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, one thing I feel like Nongsun can take away from this is that Calyx is looking better and better every day we see him. I think that, you know, this game wasn't very playable for him, right? I mean, he had to deal with BDD on Orianna with a kill, first blood. So
I think that's a takeaway. Is
he looks great in the other games that they played.
He did, and also, like, that shuffle he got on Def was legitimately a really good play, you know? I think that's the thing, is that when a team is against a strong matchup, or, you know, they've got a bad draft, or they've had a really bad early game, you have to take that into account, but considering how far they were behind here, Calyx actually finds a really nice play here onto Deft. And again, you know, they don't win the series, but you can definitely judge Calyx of his individual play during this, and as you said, I think he had some good moments, so a definite positive for him.
Yeah. At the end of the day, though, it does take a full team, and KT are not the team that Nongsun are going to beat at this point in time, I would imagine.
가만히 서 있어 이겨 이거. 내리기 빠르고.
Yeah. And this was just brutal. You know, Def just taking tower hits and then healing off the wave, and just fish in a barrel, honestly. There was fish in a barrel, I guess.
Yeah.
Wasn't really anything they could do to get away from the Nexus, and he's just spamming Mystic shots.
레오나래. 저 아지르.
죽여 그냥.
대탄.
Just calling targets.
빵빵빵빵빵.
그래도 죽이자.
나 줄게. 간다.
Let's go, let's go, let's go.
BDD baits him, you know? He goes in and then he's Anya's, and then definitely dies as a result.
Yeah.
That's fantastic move, by the way. I think every player should do tricks like that.
Yeah, everybody should learn from that.
Yeah,
I think.
that's probably the play of the series for me.
Yeah.
Baiting Deft under the fountain. If you died, that really would have been fantastic.
It definitely would have been. Absolutely. 34k damage in a game that didn't even have... I mean, there were some fights there, but yeah. Either way.
Ezreal just does a lot of damage.
Don't leave it up.
I'm glad we could learn that. I'm glad we
leave it
could
up.
learn.
Take a look at this. 10 out of 10 for one guy.
Ooh.
One guy only. It is Ox, their birthday boy this week. Congratulations.
Yeah, it was really difficult. I did the same as everyone else, but then I predicted T1. Fantastic moves.
There was only one other person that also predicted T1, by the way. It was Helios on the
Did he get 10
Korean
out of
side.
10 as well? Oh, well,
Don't know.
we'll find out that information for you at some point in the future.
Eventually. Either way, guys, we're done here on the cast. No more malding about Ezreal over here. Let's throw it over to the space where they can do it over there.
Thank you very much. This is Sierra for the POG interview translation, joined by Beryl and BDD on the side of KT Rollster, who just ended their losing streak by securing a precious victory. Congratulations! Beryl, this is the first time seeing you in the interview zone this summer. How does it feel to get your first POG? To be honest, I feel like I didn't really do very well. It's just that my teammates did really well and made really beautiful angles, so I think I'm just happy about our victory. And BDD, how do you feel? We were able to end our losing streak today, so that makes me very happy. And Beryl, both teams utilized Ezreal as the key pick in all 3 games. So what does KT think of Ezreal as a team? Ezreal definitely is getting a lot of love right now. And it's also a pick that our AD carry Deft is very confident with. And Beryl in Game 1. With Ezreal and Rel, you consistently pressured bot from the start, revealing confidence that you could dominate the laning phase based on your comp. So where was this basis coming from? Honestly, just sort of capitalizing off of mistakes actually was what really paid off, and what we were able to turn into our favor. So this is the Game 1 Drake highlights. How did you find this angle to engage? So from the enemy's perspective, there's a lot of pressure from the Lucian. So because Lucian was getting a lot of the aggro and the attention from the team, I think it created a really nice angle for me to engage. So yeah, we all the time we hear in Rel we trust. And Rel in patch 14.14 has a 6-0 undefeated record. So how do you feel about Rel in the current meta? Despite the Warmog nerf, there are so many good things about tank items that you can utilize in especially team fights and being able to sustain during engages. So I think it just makes Rel so viable right now. And in Game 3, BDD, we saw Lee Sin Ori comp that made a comeback after a very long time, and you proactively brought all the action bot. So what changes did you make after the Game 2 loss? I think mid jungle was really the part that we had to focus on utilizing the most change after the Game 2. So what do you think is a good strength of Orianna? Honestly, Orianna is not very easy to play, but because of how impactful she is in the team fight and because how much proficiency and experience I have with her, I think we were able to utilize her. So let's take a look at the next highlight in Game 3. What a bold level 1 setup. Whose call was this? At level 1, our bot duo was asking for some vision. And after we were able to get some summoner spells out, we were able to go in really aggressively. And here Beryl yells, BDD the GOAT. So, Beryl, did you think this plan would be so effective? Yeah, just because we didn't have so much vision, we were just kind of clustered up together. And I think Jeff was able to land a lot of really good Qs. And in the end, the Ori took the kill, so it worked out, I guess. And that's how the game went completely KT-sided, and there was so much snowball from bot. And BDD the GOAT has reached 4,000 total assists in the LCK, and you're the second mid laner to achieve this milestone. How do you feel? It makes me very happy and feels great, and I want to keep on going and reach 5,000 assists in the future. And Beryl, what do you think? I feel like, yeah, it hasn't been too long since I reached 4,000 assists, and yeah, being able to witness BDD reach 4,000 assists, I'm very proud of him, and I hope that he can keep it up and reach even higher milestones. And we heard you guys will be on Loli Night together. So anything you'd like to share with the fans? Maybe a little bit of sellout? Beryl? Yeah, so we were scheduled to do the lead night, so I hope that a lot of fans get to watch us in the content and BDD. Yeah, we will be in a good mood and we'll be happy to be on Loli Night today, so please look forward to it. And your next opponent is Hana Life Esports, who's in a good momentum, so how will you prepare and what is your resolution? After watching them play yesterday, just from watching, we had a lot of fun too. You know, we noticed that they're really good mechanically and they have so much sustain until the very late game. So it's going to be a great game. And BDD. Yeah, we know how good everyone's been playing, especially Zeka, so we'll be sure to be ready for our next match. And that's the end of the interview from Beryl and BDD, and back to the space. Thank you.